Hi, this is Jim McBride, and this is my first of many episodes I'm going to record and put out to the public in an attempt to communicate and pass information that a lot of you are not getting and haven't gotten for a long time. I want to release these videos at least every month, probably several times a month, to update everybody on big picture items that's going on in District 3, which includes Johns and part of James Island. And I'll cover in this episode the following topics. So in these monthly updates, I will cover mostly things related to development and traffic, because traffic is the number one issue in District 3. It's the number one issue I heard all throughout the campaign. There wasn't a single person that didn't complain about the traffic. There are people moving off the island now because the traffic's so bad. It has gotten bad quickly. So I will talk about how we got here, not in this episode, but in future episodes, why we're in the situation, and I'll talk about what's being done to improve upon it. And I'll also talk about whatever feedback I get from the public as to what people want to hear. I'll talk about specific developments that are being proposed. I'll talk about upcoming events, things that I think that the public wants to know about. I'll talk about in this episode what and where is Charleston City Council District 3. I'll talk about who owns and manages our roads. I'll talk about who District 3's county and South Carolina state representatives are. And then future updates. Again, looking for your feedback so I can tailor these to be as most impactful and useful and helpful as possible. So first topic is Charleston City District 3. It's here in orange. And if you go to votejimmcbride.com, I'm going to keep using that website for a place where you can find information relative to District 3 and Johns and James Island. And if you go there, I'll show you, it'll be obvious when you get there if you scroll down a little bit, but go to that website really quick. Here it is, votejimmcbride.com. That's what it looks like. Scroll down past the first video. You see this map right here. You just click on it, and it'll take you to this city created map, charleston-sc.maps.arcgis.com. And this is an interactive map. You click on the filters button here and you can filter what you want to see. So right now it's selected Charleston City Council Districts. If I deselect it, the color will go away. I'll reselect it. There it is. It's scrollable. It's zoomable. You can see all the districts in Charleston. You can select county districts, voting precincts, state districts, House, Senate, etc. It's very, very useful. Highly recommended. You go there. If you zoom in far enough, you can see actual individual units and addresses on this website. You can search for specific addresses, and you can see if it falls within the city or the county. So that's lesson number one. Is if you look along, this is Maybank Highway right here, and this is River Road. It's a very hodgepodge setup of city and county areas. So all along Maybank, there's portions that are city, and the portions that are not in color or in gray are in county. So it can be very confusing. So when you're looking for, you hear about a development going in, you can go to this website and figure out exactly if it's in the county or the city. Okay, and if you click on anywhere on this map, it'll pull up information about who the county person is, who the city district person is, the district name, the House districts, Senate districts, etc. So very useful. All right. Go back to the PowerPoint. Okay, so now who owns and manages our roads? For those who don't already know this, this is going to be surprising. It was surprising to me when I first found out about it several months ago. So again, in the pastel orange in the background, that's District 3. There's a Stono River. There's James Allen on the right. Don's Allen over here. Whoops. In red, all the red roads are state-owned roads. SCDOT, South Carolina Department of Transportation. So Maybank Highway, River Road, Maine, Chisholm, Evandale, Bohicket, Plowground, all state-owned roads. And of course, where all our traffic pinch points are on and off Johns Island, corner of Maine and Maybank, corner of Chisholm River and Maine, by the high school, those are all state-owned roads. And they're managed, they're delegated and funded by the county for the most part. The state will help with funding, but when it comes to improvements, most of that comes from the county to improve and work on these red roads. So I, as the city council, city district representative, need to communicate often and effectively with our county representatives for Johns Island, which is Joe Boykin and Jenny Honeycutt, to coordinate improvements on the road and figure out what the county's doing and timelines, and so they can get my feedback as to what needs to be prioritized, etc. Make it even more confusing, the signals, the traffic lights on those state-owned roads are for the most part managed by the city. The state installs the lights, and the city, for the most part, on most of the roads within city district, manages the timing and the sensors, etc., on the lights. So when I hear feedback from people about certain traffic lights not working right, I do get that to the city, and they can go out and make improvements to those. So it's multiple layers of government that are overseeing our roads, which does make things sometimes difficult to coordinate, but that's what I'm here for. And that's what Joe Boykin, Jenny Honeycutt are there for. We need to work together, and we are working together to improve the processes that lead to better traffic management on Johns and James Island. Okay, so I already referred to some of them. So who are District 3's county and South Carolina state representatives? So the county districts and the state House and Senate districts that overlap Johns Island. There's a lot of them, which is interesting because county and state districts are huge compared to city districts. So the fact that several intersect Johns Island is actually a good thing, because I've met with all of them, almost all of them, all the House members and one of the Senate members, and they all know about the traffic on Johns Island, care about the traffic on Johns Island. Some of them live on Johns Island or near Johns Island, and are all working together with the county and the city to improve things. And there is things that the state can do. I'll talk about it in future episodes. So here you go. Here's the county districts. So Joe Boykin. When you go to that map I showed you, it'll say District 8 is Anna Johnson still. It's not updated. I don't know why. It's actually Joe Boykin. He's the county district representative for District 8. If you go to this website right here, you can go to his profile, his county profile, get his contact information. He covers most of Johns Island, and Hollywood and Wadmalaw, and a huge area. Jenny Honeycutt covers the northeastern portion of Johns Island, which is mostly headquarters plantation area, and onto James Island. And District 3, as you can see, goes on to James Island, covers part of the James Island County Park. It kind of goes down more or less when you cross the bridge, goes down Riverland to Central Park Road, kind of that area here. And again, it's kind of a hodgepodge between county and city, but again, Joe Boykin here, Jenny Honeycutt here. And so that's why I work with those two primarily when we're talking about things on Johns and James Island. Okay, now we got South Carolina State House representative districts that overlap City District 3. There's 3, looks like 4, but it's actually 3. I'll start with Spencer Wetmore because hers goes around in a U shape and touches District 3 in 2 different spots. It looks like it's 2 different districts, but if you zoom out, you'll see one district that she covers, and it just hits 2 spots on Johns Island and James Island. So she's House District 115. That's her website for her profile. You got 116 is Matt Lieber. He covers the very northwestern portion of District 3 and the most western portion of District 3. Then you got Leon Stavronakis, District 119. And kind of the dividing line between him and Spencer is mostly Maybank Highway. So he's the northern half of the Maybank Highway, a big chunk of Johns Island, and then all the way down to the airport as well. And again, if you go to all those links on those underneath their names, you can go to their profiles and get their contact information and learn about them. I met with all 3 of them about a week and a half ago. And we're all working together to help find solutions that they can do at the state level, as well as Sandy Sen. Here's a state representatives district. So you got Sandy Sen, Margie Bright Matthews. I've met with Sandy, have not yet met with Margie Bright Matthews. But as you can see, Sandy Sen has a huge chunk of Johns Island. District 20 is a new district at the state level, has not been filled yet. There'll be election, I think, this year that will result in whoever's going to fill that new district, which is mostly on James Island. But these House members, I've all met in person. Sandy Sen I've met in person, talked to all of them, and we're all I'm giving them ideas and giving them feedback about what the constituents on Johns Island want to see improvements on, that the state can do to change state laws to potentially help us on Johns Island, which again I'll cover in a future episode. Okay, and then future updates. I want feedback as to what you want to know. I want to keep these short, around 10 minutes or less, because otherwise people won't pay attention. And I want this information to be as useful as possible. And again, I'll try to get another video out in a couple weeks at the very latest by March 1st. There is some good news coming as far as improvement on Maybank coming in March, which I will probably use from part of my next update. If you want to get a hold of me, that's my website. That's my email on the bottom, james.k.mcbride10@gmail.com. That's how you can reach me. So thanks for your attention. I hope this is useful, and I hope this becomes more and more useful as time goes on. Thanks and God bless.